Lupang Hinirang is the national anthem of the Philippines. Its music was composed in 1898 by Julian Felipe, and the lyrics were adapted from the Spanish poem Filipinas, written by José Palma in 1899. Originally written as incidental music, it did not have lyrics when it was adopted as the anthem of the revolutionary First Philippine Republic and subsequently played during the proclamation of Philippine independence on June 12, 1898. During the American Colonial Period, the Flag Law of 1907 prohibited public display flags, banners, emblems, or devices used by revolutionaries in the Philippine-American War. Under color of this law, the colonial government banned the song from being played. The flag law was repealed in 1919. During the Commonwealth era, Commonwealth Act No. 382, approved on September 5, 1938, officially adopted the musical arrangement and composition by Julian Felipe as the Philippine National Anthem. The Spanish lyrics were translated into Tagalog beginning in the 1940s, and a final, Filipino version from 1956 was revised in the 1960s to the present lyrics. Over the years, several English versions came into use. On February 12, 1998, Republic Act No. 8491, officially set out Tagalog lyrics as the national anthem, abandoning use of the Spanish and English versions. Some English-language sources erroneously translate Lupang Hinirang as beloved land, or beloved country. The first term is actually a translation of the incipit of the original poem Filipinas, while beloved country is a translation of Byng Majuli, the current version's incipit and colloquial name. Some sources assert that an English version of anthem lyrics titled Philippine Hymn was legalized by Commonwealth Act No. 382. That act, however, only concerns itself with the instrumental composition by Julian Felipe. History. The Lupang Hinirang began as an instrumental march which Emilio Aguinaldo commissioned for use in the proclamation of Philippine independence from Spain. This task was given to Julian Felipe and was to replace a march which Aguinaldo found unsatisfactory. The title of this new march was Marcha Filipina Magdalo, and was later changed to Marcha Nacional Filipina upon its adoption as the national anthem of the First Philippine Republic on June 11, 1898, a day before independence was to be proclaimed. Felipe said that he used three other musical pieces as basis for the national anthem, the Spain's Marcha Real, the Grand March from Giuseppe Verdi, a Euro unregistered trademark Saida, and France's La Marseillaise. It was played by the San Francisco de Malaban marching band during the proclamation rite on June 12. In August 1899, José Palma wrote the poem Filipinas in Spanish. The poem was published for the first time in the newspaper La Independencia on September 3, 1899. It was subsequently adopted as the lyrics to the anthem. Philippine law requires that the anthem always be rendered in accordance with the musical arrangement and composition of Julian Felipe, but the original holograph cannot be located. In the 1920s, the time signature was changed to 4/4 to facilitate its singing and the key was changed from the original C major to G. After the repeal of the flag law in 1919, the American colonial government decided to translate the hymn from Spanish to English. The first translation was written around that time by Paz Marquez Benitez of the University of the Philippines, who was also a famous poet during that time. The most popular translation, called the Philippine Hymn, was written by Senator Camilo Osa and an American, Mary A. Lane. Tagalog translations began appearing in the 1940s, with the first known one titled Dyng Bayan, which was sung during the Japanese occupation of the Philippines. The second most popular one was O Sintang Lupa by Julian Cruz Balmaceda, Ildefonso Santos, and Francisco Cabolo. This was adopted as the official version in 1948. Upon the adoption of Dyng Bayan, the song Awit sa Paglika ng Bagang Pilipinas and the Japanese national anthem Kaimagao were replaced. During the term of President Ramon Magsaysay, Education Secretary Gregorio Hernandez formed a commission to revise the lyrics. On May 26, 1956, the Filipino translation Lupang Hinirang was sung for the first time. Minor revisions were made in the 1960s, and it is this version by Felipe Padilla de Lecubden which is presently used. The Filipino lyrics have been confirmed by Republic Act No. 8491 in 1998, abandoning use of both the Spanish and English versions. As historian Ambeth Ocampo has noted, some of the original meaning of the poem Filipinas has been lost in translation. For example, the original Hija del Sol de Orient literally means daughter of the Orient Sun. It becomes child of the sun returning in the Philippine hymn and pearl of the Orient in the present official version. Other anthems, Lupang Hinirang was not the first Filipino national anthem to be conceived. The composer and revolutionist Julio Nakpil penned Marangal Nadalit ng Katagulagan, which was later called Salve Patria. It was originally intended to be the official anthem of the Katipunan, the secret society that spearheaded the revolution. It is considered a national anthem because Andre Copyright Bonifacio, the chief founder and supremo of the Katipunan, converted the organization into a revolutionary government with himself as presidente known as the Republica ng Katagulagan just before hostilities erupted. The Katipunan or Republica ng Katagulagan was superseded by Aguinaldo's Republica Filipina. The anthem, later renamed Himno Nacional, was never adopted by Aguinaldo for unspecified reasons. It should be noted that the term Katagulagan in the anthem referred the Philippine Islands as a whole and not just Tagalophone Filipinos. The translation of Lupang Hinirang was used by Felipe Padilla de Leon as his inspiration for Awit sa Paglika ng Bagong Pilipinas, commissioned as a replacement anthem by the Japanese-controlled Second Philippine Republic during World War II, and later adapted during the martial law era under Ferdinand Marcos. Lyrics: the following Spanish, Filipino and English versions of the national anthem have been given official status throughout Philippine history. However, only the most recent and current Filipino version is officially recognized by law. The Flag and Heraldic Code, approved on February 12, 1998 specifies, the national anthem shall always be sung in the national language within or without the country. Violation of the law is punishable by a fine and imprisonment. Music and Tempo, R.A. 8491 specifies that Lupang Hinirang shall be in accordance with the musical arrangement and composition of Julian Felipe. However, when literally followed, this means that the national anthem should only be performed by a pianist or by a brass band, as these were the only versions that were produced by Julian Felipe. Moreover, the original version was composed in duple time as compared to the present quadruple time. It cannot be sung according to the original score, because the music must be slowed down to fit the lyrics, or the music will be so fast that singers would be unable to keep pace with the music. During televised boxing matches featuring Filipino boxer Manny Pacquiao, singers have been both praised and criticized by the National Historical Institute for singing too slow or too fast. The NHI says that the proper tempo is at 2/4 beat and 100 metronomes and that it should last 53 seconds. Usage and Regulation, Article 16, Section 2 of the present Philippine Constitution specifies that the Congress may, by law, adopt a new name for the country, a national anthem, or a national seal, which shall be truly reflective and symbolic of the ideals, history, and traditions of the people. Such law shall take effect only upon its ratification by the people in a national referendum. Republic Act 8491 regulates the usage of the Philippine National Anthem. It also contains the complete lyrics of Lupang Hinirang. R.A. 8491, enacted in 1998, states that Lupang Hinirang shall always be sung in the national language regardless if performed inside or outside the Philippines, and specifies that the singing must be done with fervor. The national anthem is usually played during public gatherings in the Philippines or in foreign countries where the Filipino audience is sizable. R.A. 8491 also provides that it be played at other occasions as may be allowed by the National Historical Institute. R.A. 8491 prohibits its playing or singing for mere recreation, amusement, or entertainment except during the following occasions: international competitions where the Philippines is the host or has a representative. Local competitions. During the signing off, and signing on of radio broadcasting and television stations. And, before the initial and last screening of films and before the opening of theatre performances. R.A. 8491 specifies fine or imprisonment penalties for any person or juridical entity which violates its provisions. A public or government official or employee who fails to observe the regulations of R.A. 8491 may face administrative sanctions in addition to the penalties imposed by law. This also applies to persons connected with government-held corporations, public schools, and state colleges and universities. See also, Marangal Nadalit ng Katagulagan, Flag of the Philippines, Oath of Allegiance, Pledge of Allegiance to the Philippine Flag, Notes. References. External links, The Philippines, Lupang Hinirang, Audio of the National Anthem of the Philippines, with information and lyrics, Philippine Studies, Historical Notice of the Philippine National Anthem, Philippine-American War, Arnaldo Dumundin.